Muhammad, peace be upon him, died as the undisputed king of the Arabian Peninsula. He was succeeded one after the other by four men who were known as the Khulafa Rashidun, and they spread Islam from the Arabian Peninsula into Tunisia in the west and up to Iran, an area called Khorasan in the east. In 661 their rule came to an end, and they were followed by the Umayyad dynasty, who ruled from 661 to 750, and they spread Islam to the Mediterranean and to the Indus River, and they were also the ones who were now looking at the area of Central Asia as potential further ground to make. So a few bits of terminology we need to be aware of. The first term is Khorasan. Khorasan is a geographical area which encompasses the modern day countries of Iran, Afghanistan, and the country just to the north of them both, which is Turkmenistan. The northern border of Khorasan was marked off by a river. This river is roughly the modern day border between Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. And back in those days, it was never called Uzbekistan. They had another terms for it. So in English, it would be called Transoxiana, because the river was called the Oxus, and in Arabic it would be called mawarranahar, which means that which is behind the river. So this area, which is north of Khorasan moving into Central Asia, was called either mawarranahar, what is behind the river, or Transoxiana. Transoxiana, or mawarranahar, that which is behind the river, was inhabited by many different ethnic groups, but the two main ones were, number one, the Sogdians, which were an Iranian type people, and the second group were Turkic ethnicities, or Turks. Many people think that Turks come from Turkey. The actual truth of the matter is that some Turks ended up in Turkey, but all Turks originally come from Central Asia. So these were the types of people that the Muslims would encounter when they moved north from Khorasan into mawarranahar, that which is behind the river, or what is also known as Transoxiana, modern day Uzbekistan. From their base in Khorasan, which was a city called Merv, the Umayyads would make their move into Central Asia. And this is when a famous general would first make his name. He would start from Merv and move north into Central Asia, crossing the Oxus River, and take down the cities of mawarranahar one by one. The cities of Bikend, Bukhara, Samarkand, Tashkent, and the Ferghana Valley, and his name was Quthaiba ibn Muslim al-Bahili. the Shahi Zinda complex, meaning the living king, and it's basically a street full of graves. But one important person who's buried here is a man called Qutham ibn Abbas, who is a companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Indeed, he is the first cousin of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He took part in the ghusl, the washing of the body of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, upon his death, and he also took part in his burial. He came to Samarkand, some people say in the early 700s, as part of the army of Kutaiba ibn Muslim, which eventually conquered Samarkand and this area, mawarranahar, Transoxiana. Other people say he came a bit earlier on in a missionary movement, but nonetheless, this is where he's buried, and he's buried 4,000 miles away from Medina, where he buried his first cousin, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it shows in the space of 70 years how far Islam can travel from Medina to Samarkand, a distance of 4,000 miles. Through that door in front of me, to the right is the corridor which leads to his grave.